The pressure to provide is crushing men right now in ways their wives don't fully see, and their churches never talk about. There was a man in scripture who rebuilt an entire broken city wall while holding a weapon in one hand and a tool in the other, under direct threat with almost no resources, and the way he did it is the exact blueprint for what you're carrying right now. There is a specific kind of exhaustion that comes from being the one everyone depends on financially, and almost no one preaches about it directly. It's not laziness, it's not lack of faith, it's the daily weight of knowing that if you stop, the whole structure falls. The mortgage, the groceries, your kid's sense of safety, your wife's sense of security. Men carry this silently because admitting it feels like admitting weakness. Nehemiah understood this pressure on a national scale. In Nehemiah chapter 4, he's leading the rebuilding of Jerusalem's broken walls, a massive undertaking with limited manpower, limited resources, and active enemies mocking the effort and threatening violence. Verse 10 records something raw. The strength of the laborers is failing, and there is so much rubble that we cannot rebuild the wall. That's not a spiritual metaphor. That's a project manager admitting his team is exhausted and the resources aren't enough. Sound familiar? Notice what Nehemiah didn't do when that report reached him. He didn't fire anyone. He didn't pretend the exhaustion wasn't real to keep morale up. He heard it, took it seriously, and adjusted the plan. He reorganized the workers by family, stationed men strategically along the wall, and kept building anyway. Acknowledging that your team, or your own body, is running on empty is not the same as quitting. Nehemiah proved you can hold both at once. This is genuinely too hard right now, and we are not stopping. It's also worth remembering where Nehemiah started before any of this. He wasn't a builder by trade. He was a cupbearer in a foreign palace. A man with a stable, comfortable position who heard a report about his people's broken walls and let it wreck him enough to act. Nehemiah 1 shows him weeping, fasting, and praying for days before he ever picked up a tool. The provision pressure you're carrying didn't start with a stone in your hand either. It started with caring enough about your family's stability to let the weight of it actually register instead of numbing out. That caring is not a liability. It's the same starting point Nehemiah had. Here's what's easy to miss. Nehemiah didn't get to rebuild in ideal conditions. He rebuilt while being mocked by Sanballat and Tobiah, who called the project laughable. Even a fox could break down what they're building. He rebuilt while fielding real threats of armed attack. He rebuilt while his own people were exhausted and discouraged from within, not just opposed from outside. If you feel like you're building your family's stability while getting mocked by circumstances, exhausted from within and threatened from outside, you are not failing. You are in Nehemiah's chapter. The provision pressure you're carrying right now is not a sign that you're doing something wrong. It's the natural weight of being the man who chose to build instead of walk away. If you're carrying the provision weight silently right now, lying awake doing the math, telling no one how heavy it actually is, type "still building" in the comments right now. 52 days felt impossible to Nehemiah too. Let's build that wall together. Subscribe right now because provision pressure doesn't come once. It comes in seasons, and you'll need this reminder again. Hit like so this reaches the next man lying awake doing math in his head at 2 a.m. And if you know a brother carrying his family financially and never says a word about how heavy it is, send him this today. He is not going to ask for this. Send it anyway, because what Nehemiah did next, building a wall with a weapon in one hand, is the exact model for how you keep providing without breaking. Nehemiah 4:17 gives us one of the most practical images in Scripture for a provider under pressure. Those who carried materials did their work with one hand and held a weapon in the other. Half the men stood guard while the other half worked. Every builder kept his sword strapped to his side, even while laying stone. This wasn't paranoia, this was wisdom. The recognition that provision and protection have to happen at the same time, because the threats don't pause while you're trying to build. This is exactly the tension you're living in. You're trying to build your family's financial stability while simultaneously defending your household from stress, from arguments about money, from the temptation to numb out instead of engage. You don't get the luxury of doing one at a time. Nehemiah didn't either. He built and defended simultaneously, and so will you. And that's not a failure of your plan. That's just what real provision under real pressure actually looks like. It's worth being honest that this dual posture is exhausting, and Scripture doesn't pretend otherwise. Verse 21's mention of daybreak to starlight isn't offered as an inspirational highlight. It's recorded plainly as the cost of the season they were in. There's no promise here that provision under pressure will ever feel light. What's promised is that it has a finish line, the way Nehemiah's 52 days had one, even when day 30 felt indistinguishable from day 1. There's a detail in verse 21 worth sitting with. So we labored in the work, and half of the men held the spears from daybreak until the stars appeared. Sun up to sundown, armed and building at the same time. No shift change, no day off until the wall was finished. That's not a sustainable pace forever. Nehemiah himself knew it was temporary, a season with an end date. But it tells you something about seasons of real pressure. Sometimes the honest answer isn't find better balance. Sometimes the honest answer is endure this specific season without quitting because it has an end, even if you can't see it yet. Notice something else. Nehemiah didn't do this alone. Verse 19-20 shows him organizing the people so that when the trumpet sounded, everyone would rally to the point of attack together. Our God will fight for us, he tells them. He wasn't a lone hero holding the whole wall together by sheer willpower. He built a structure of shared strength, and he pointed everyone, including himself, back to God as the actual source of the outcome. This is where so many providers break, not because the pressure is too heavy, but because they try to carry it completely alone, refusing to let their wife in on the real numbers, refusing to let a brother know how tight things actually are, refusing to bring it honestly to God because it feels like admitting failure. Isolation is what breaks providers, not the workload. Here's the detail that should change how you see your own situation. Nehemiah finished the wall in 52 days. 52 days under threat, understaffed, mocked publicly. And when their enemies heard it was done, Nehemiah 6:16 says they lost their confidence because they realized this work had been done with the help of our God. The finished wall wasn't just a construction project. It was proof, visible to everyone watching, that God had been in it the whole time. 52 days is worth sitting with for a moment. It's not a metaphor for eventually. It's a specific, countable number, which means Nehemiah's people could actually watch the finish line get closer day by day, even in the middle of exhaustion and threat. Your season of provision pressure has a shape too, even if you can't see the exact day yet. It is not formless. It is not endless by design. It is a wall being built one day at a time. And every day you show up is one day closer to a finish line you can't currently see, but that is nonetheless real. Your provision right now, the job you're grinding through, the bills you're somehow still covering, the family you're still holding together even when it feels impossible, that is your wall. It may not feel finished, it may feel like rubble half the time, but every month you keep showing up, sword in one hand and stone in the other. You're building something your enemies, financial pressure, exhaustion, doubt, expect to see collapse. And it hasn't. So here's what to actually do this week. Stop hiding the real numbers from your wife. Bring her in as a builder, not someone to protect from the truth. Find one man you trust and tell him honestly how heavy this season is. Nehemiah had a team, not a solo mission. And go back to God plainly, the way Nehemiah did before he even started rebuilding. Pray specifically over your provision, not vaguely. There's one more step worth naming, because Nehemiah didn't stop at defending the wall. He also addressed the internal economics of his own people. In chapter 5, he discovers some of his own countrymen are charging each other unfair interest, worsening the very crisis they were all supposedly building against together. He confronts it directly, publicly, and corrects it. The application for you isn't about interest rates. It's about auditing your own house honestly. Where are you making the provision pressure worse through choices only you control? A spending pattern nobody's naming out loud. A refusal to have the hard budget conversation. A pride that won't let you ask for help even when help is available. Nehemiah didn't just defend against outside threats. He was willing to look inward too, and that's often the harder wall to rebuild. And notice what Nehemiah refused for himself during all of this. As governor, he had every legal right to the food allowance previous leaders had taken from the people. But chapter 5 tells us he didn't take it, because the demands were heavy on this people. He absorbed a cost personally so his people wouldn't carry more than they already were. That's the picture of a provider under real pressure who still chooses sacrifice over self-protection. It's not about martyrdom. It's about a man who understood that leading a household through a hard season sometimes means you go without something you're technically owed because someone else's wall matters more to you than your own comfort. You are not failing as a provider because it's hard. Nehemiah's wall was hard too. Hard is what building under real pressure looks like, and hard is not the same as failing. If you want to see exactly how Nehemiah handled the moment his own people turned on him from the inside, because provision pressure isn't the only threat you'll face, watch the next video now.